Welcome to Study Loop.
All right, we are doing number 26 from chapter 5. It's asking, what is the relationship between price elasticity and position on the demand curve? For example, as you move up the demand curve to higher prices and lower quantities, what happens to the measured elasticity? How would you explain that? So it's basically asking us, what it would mean for elasticity to be here versus here versus here, right? Because it's asking high up on the demand curve. And so I've gone ahead and written out the formula for elasticity, which is percent change quantity over percent change price. And so at these points, we'll call them A, B, and what's confusing, or D for demand, but we'll call this point C. At these points, there are differing prices and quantities, of course. So at point A, there is low quantity and high price. So let's say here we might be going from a quantity of 1 to 2. And what's that? Well, that's going to be a huge percent increase in quantity because you're doubling, right? Whereas price might be going from, say, 50 to 49. So price is going to be a very small percent change because it's already so high, whereas quantity is so low. Even though it's moving the same amount, just one unit, the percent change is very different. So up here, we're going to see high elasticity. Here, at point B, well, we're going to see sort of middle elasticity, right? For that same reason I just said, where let's say this is like 25 and this is 20 for quantity. So to go from 20 to 21 units and to in turn maybe have demand go from, say, 25 to 24, or excuse me, price go from 25 to 24, well, you're only changing by like 4 to 5% for each of those. So it's pretty similar percent changes for quantity and price, right? Because that's what determines the formula. So this is going to be, let's say, middle. And then for C, what's going to happen there? Well, if quantity is high and price is low, let's say quantity is going from 49 to 50, which is like, I don't know, 2% increase. But price is going from 5 to 4, which is like a 20% change. That's going to be a very small elasticity. It's something like 0.1. So in short, the answer to this question is that as you move up the demand curve to higher prices and lower quantities, the elasticity is going to be higher. And as you move down to higher quantities and lower prices, it's going to be lower. And the reason for that is because as quantity changes from low to high, the percent changes are going to be much smaller, even if the actual change itself matters, or even if the actual change itself stays the same, like stays 1 unit, for example. If the percent change is changing, then you're going to have a high